What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another video. It's your boy, Critical Thought. We back with another video. We got a special video for y'all today. Really, in this video, we just want to talk about, back to the jail, prison incarceration, podcast. You know what I'm saying? We want to go ahead and make another video here because it's been a very long time since we made one of these, and I'm kind of getting I'm kind of missing these right here. So I want to just go over and make this video right here and really just go back to the prison incarceration podcast because I've been missing these podcasts. I'm not gonna lie. So in this video, we're going to talk about a few different things. I miss this podcast because, I miss, some of the things, we used to, just the principle, some of the things, we used to do, or just, what, I guess, the prison culture sort of teaches you in certain aspects. Certain things, I think is cooking, right? Cooking, right? Cooking is one of the things in nutrition sort of thing. I think that's one of the craziest sort of innovative, craftiest things that you can really just do. With that one little plastic bowl, you know what I'm saying? From all the different sorts of things, mixing sorts of different things from the whether it be ramen packs or other things, just mixing them things together and just letting that drink swell up. And it's just some of the craftsmanship, that comes with, the mechanics. Folks in prison, people don't understand, it's the rawest form of innovation, period. In craftsmanship, rawest, because, with literal just nothing, and it's just creating in that environment and creating a culture in that environment. It's sort of, craftsmanship and things like that is one of the things I say is, one of the things that's just undernoted, I believe. And it's just the craftsmanship, ability to just, the noodles, for instance, I never learned that noodles could swell up like that when you sit them in some water, you know what I'm saying, until I went to jail. Noodles, they actually swell up, you know what I'm saying? And, they got, you create this thing called the swole. And that's when you actually let ramen swell up, and then cook it instead of just throwing it in the microwave and cooking it, and this is the difference in texture. That allows you to use, gain more nutrition as well as, do other things with the ramen, craft other things with the ramen and with that, sort of nutrition. So I think that's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? That you can do that, with ramen, and you can get cheese and you can get, some refried beans, and sort of mix that in together, create a taco right there out of the microwave. Create your own sort of sauce. I've seen folks create their own sauce, before, the tomato sauce, even just the crafty, I've seen real life chefs too. I've been in the set with real life chefs who create pizza, literally just, crafting just pizza just out of the microwave. And it's just their drink just tastes bomb, their drink just like that. And I think it's crazy, you know what I'm saying? And just I seen folks create pizza, and I nice, really actually good ass fajitas, you know what I'm saying? And stuff just mixing different things. I ain't never seen folks mix Dorito bags and cheese, hot Cheetos and stuff, hot puff Cheetos, you know what I'm saying, and make some sort of seasoning out of it to put in your tacos. I'm damn, this shit better. This shit better than the street. You know what I'm saying? I'm this shit is better than what they cook out in the street. And I'm what the heck? You know what I'm saying? Just the idea of it. Who would think to take Cool Ranch Doritos, crush them joints up, and make a cheese sauce out of them? You know what I'm saying? And I'm looking at this, I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, damn, this shit is more, this shit probably tastes better. This shit better than like, you know what I'm saying? The stuff that you see on the street. I'm like, man, like, shit, I'll eat this before I'll eat, you know what I'm saying? A lot of the other shit on the street. Like, you talking about, you talk about cheese, nacho, you talk about cheese Doritos or cheese, fajitas made out of Cool Ranch Doritos or nacho cheese or spicy nacho Doritos, like, you know what I'm saying, mixed together. I'm like, shit, damn, I'm taking this shit over the other shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking at this shit, I'm like, damn, like, you know, and I'm just like, shit, they you know, and shit is just it's just the craftiness of it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm taking this shit over the other shit. That's just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's just the most creative thing, just, you know, shit, to be able to do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, shit, man, like taking some refried beans. I ain't never even heard of refried beans, man, until I went to that joint, man. Shit. And then let that shit swell up and throw that shit in with the cheese. You know what I'm saying? And then throw, you know, within the nacho cheese Doritos, crumbled up, or the spicy nacho, or even the what's it called? The purple bag or whatever that shit is called. Chili Doritos, whatever this shit is called. And shit. Put that shit together and create some shit like that. Like, bruh, what? You know what I'm saying? Shit. That shit, and then shit, if you was able to really get other things like milk, like things like milk, you could really create a cheese sauce. You know what I'm saying? Shit, you could throw that like real time, you could throw that shit in with some milk and throw that shit in with some you know what I'm saying? Some other type of like, you know, spices and shit. You got you a real actual cheese sauce. That's the thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got a real live cheese sauce by just taking that and throwing some milk in there. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like shit. Like, you know, like that shit, man, that's crazy to me. Shit. Throw that shit on the actual pan and pot and shit. You got yourself, you know, a little bit of salt. You know what I'm saying? And like, you know, you got you something made for real. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you realize just you got you something going, right? You know, throw that shit in the oven. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, you know what I'm saying? Throw that shit in the oven and it's like, damn, man, like shit. Bah. You just took some sort of craft man, from like the principles of just like how they be whipping up in the jail and shit, man. Apply that shit out here, man. Like shit, you know what I'm saying? Like folks don't know like the creativity you can throw in some of this food. Like, you know what I'm saying? Folks don't know, man. You can get down with some of this stuff, man. Like, it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy how you can really get down. Man, it's just like, and I think that's just art that's just under, you know what I'm saying? It's just, you know, I don't think it's really, you know, outlined or looked into, like how, you know, how deep you could really go in this stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? How deep you can go in this shit. Like, you know, and it's just crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy to me, just the depth that you could really go into some of these, you know what I'm saying, into that. But anyway, it's just like that's like, you know what I'm saying? That's just it. Like, I cook anything, man. Like, I could really cook anything, package it, you know what I'm saying, any type of way, you know what I'm saying? And that joint be fire. Like, that joint be just like crazy, you know what I'm saying? Like, for real. I can cook anything, bro. Quesadillas and, you know, little lasagna, or I'll even say like, you know, like sort of like them little, like, I'll even make up some sort of like quesadilla or fajita squares, like some sort of fajita pizza squares or something, you know, whatever, you know, whatever, man, and just whatever squares, and just like pack that shit with just a bunch of different shit, man, and just change, you know what I'm saying, change the you know, certain certain flour or certain other things to it and make it turn into, like, you know what I'm saying, and just you could really just go crazy with the different ways you can sort of just craft that out, like, you know what I'm saying, and just get to really crafting that shit, man. You know what I'm saying, and it's just like it's all coming from like the prison culture, man. Just the diversity of just how you can sort of do shit. You know what I'm saying? Do things and just, do shit and just like have that shit turn out to be bomb. Like, you know what I'm saying? Literally, it's like bomb, man. That shit crazy, and it's just like, I think that's just one thing just worth noting, like, you know what I'm saying? And then being able to transition that stuff to like a more like, being able to transition that to a more articulate way in terms of just like, functionality, and transitioning that to functionality and transitioning it to like, a way that's just like functional and you could like function things and do things with it, I think is just insane. You know what I'm saying? Like, imagine the functionality you can really create out of that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? And the packaging you could sort of create with it and put with it to get it to a point to where it's just like, you got, it's all, it's all packaged in a way that's just, it's all packaged in a way that just goes a specific way, like to sort of like achieve a specific thing and do a specific thing. And then, you know what I'm saying? It's just all packaged correctly, like, and it's, you sort of compartmentalize and sort it out one way. Like, I think that's crazy, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And then, doing that, right? And to do, you know what I'm saying? You can do that. And it's just like, if I could package everything just one way and just like package it all in a sort of, way that's just, it's going to do this thing or perform this thing or, have this sort of effect, then it's just like, man, like, it's just like, man, it's just like, that's crazy, that you can just package this sort of shit that way, I think. And it's just like, boom, you know what I'm saying? Boom. Shit, I think that shit is crazy. Taking like just certain aspects of maybe like a video game or just like colors of like some sort of, just packaging, right? Just package it in a certain way, you know what I'm saying? With some sort of like wordplay or some sort of decoration, and, design, and then just like have the, you know what I'm saying? And just like have the, just have like a game or something, or just some sort of functional training too as well, package that in some sort of way and just say like, this, you know what I'm saying? And it just, all this shit just has benefits and it just benefits you a specific way, you know what I'm saying? And it shit like extends, it could be, it just should, it can extend to, of course, like physical training, personal training, creative exercise training, games, physical games, that you can play and do and sort of activities that you can do to sort of boost, you know what I'm saying, certain things. And then just like from, your games and just art, maybe like, that might be able to like you do and just boost certain things and just, and then just like, what else? Food that you eat and is like nutrition that you can just use and utilize to boost a certain way, and just like, maybe just like visuals and like art and stuff, or just like what you see, you know what I'm saying, that might just be able to boost things a certain way. And it's just like all the different methods and things and ways you can use to like sort of just boost yourself a certain way, you know what I'm saying? I think it's crazy to me, just like you can utilize all this shit to just like boost yourself a specific way, and it's like perform functionalities better, like in a specific way. You know what I'm saying? To just to like improve this, improve that, and just get yourself better that way. And I think like if you could just really go into detail, like just really going into details with this stuff, like, you know what I'm saying, of all the things that you actually like want to do, you know, or going into details of all the things that you want to like improve on or just like boost or enhance, shit, you can just do that shit and package that shit just by focusing on the details of it, understanding the benefits of it, and then just packaging and decorating it in a specific or certain way that you can just sort of like allows you to be able to like compartmentalize it, or like, you know what I'm saying, and sort of just like organize it, right? You know what I'm saying? and just have that shit organized where you can just take it and just be able to apply it or play the game, or just, or eat that, specific dish or food, or, whatever, to just boost functionality. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I think that shit is crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? That you could just sort of do that. Like, and I just, I think that shit is crazy to me, right? And it's just the packaging that's just like the final, like, sort of thing to it, and it's just packaging that shit, all that shit in a certain sort of way. And it's just like presenting it. And it's just like, bruh, you know what I'm saying? That shit is crazy. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, just by doing all that, you know what I'm saying? I think it's just, you know what I'm saying? I think that shit is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. For me, for instance, like, I'm taking like food and stuff, like, you know what I'm saying? And just like, I'm just like, man, shoot. It's crazy the type of dishes that you can really come up with the right sort of sustenance, right? And the right sort of like pieces, and then, that you can sort of just put and maneuver to create actual beneficial things that's going to help with, that's just like more healthy foods, and as well as it's just like intentional in terms of like what it's boosting at what specific time, you know what I'm saying, you need it. And it's just like, I think it's the same thing with games. I think it's the same thing with games and even training regimes that you package those games in. Functional trainings, and even the sort of way that you package those functional trainings, and even sort of like lax things. I say regulatory things, and just the way you sort of just naturally sort of gravitate your way towards those natural things. But I think just the packaging of all these things that you sort of have and that you do are very beneficial and very like effective and helpful, like, and it's just like being able to really package these things in a specific way, that you can just sort of go to and understand, even if it's just like a concept as well, right? You know what I'm saying? And, that's just what's going to cause you to be able to like sort of compartmentalize things in the best way possible. And I think that's just like the key thing, right? And it's just like, you can compartmentalize certain things, and it's just like, you can utilize those things that you compartmentalize, like when you need them and when you want to use them. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, so I have this, I have it packaged here, I have it organized here, and I could just take it and I could just use it and apply it exactly when and where I want to. Like, you know what I'm saying? Exactly. It's right there. It's packaged right when I need it, right? You know what I'm saying? Whether it's food, whether it's gaming, whether it's functional training, like actual like physical training and certain things, and just the packaging of all those things, I think, and it's just like, okay, so I understand the details of these things, and I understand like, okay, and I package the whole shit in a way that's just like, I could just take the entire shit, you know what I'm saying? I don't have to go back to it anymore. It's a closed loop system now. So, you know what I'm saying? I can just I could just package it. It's here, and I could just go back to it and sort of just organize it. You know what I'm saying? Or I could just sort of just utilize it when I need to and put it back right where it was, right? In an organized manner. You know what I'm saying? And make sure I'm stocked up on, these things, right? So it's just organizing and filing, and just compartmentalizing, things, and it's just like being able to really just take these programs and take these like, take these packages, right, and these programs, right, and being able to just utilize them, just be able to utilize just these programs and packages in however way that I really see fit, or however way that I want to freaking do it. Like whether it's like I said, a gaming concept in terms of functional games that I want to play to trip my mind, or, put my mind at a certain state or a certain way in order for me to perform, this way, or whether it's like, training in terms of, or even just like training in terms of like physical training, and like even the outlet of sport that I'm trying to do, and based off just like what the outlet of sport is, I can sort of just, or just like I can train myself, in a sport or in a specific like way, that will allow me to be able to, prepare myself, this way. or even like, train myself in, nutrition wise, not train myself, but like eat certain foods and nutrition packaged, like meals. I'm talking about like actual, like full packaged dishes, you know what I'm saying? Or meals, you know what I'm saying? And say like this meal is packaged, for this, and it just serves this specific purpose. Like I want to be able to like run faster, like I don't know, just fucking, you know what I'm saying, just perform or put myself at a certain state, you know what I'm saying, and I could just do that, right? And this shit might even go as deep as environmental as well, like, you know what I'm saying, certain environments that you just want to be around and be a part of at a specific time, you know what I'm saying, in order to like, boost yourself a specific way, right? And it just takes the same functionality as just developing yourself. You know what I'm saying? You develop yourself and you want to put yourself in a certain state in order to perform a specific way. You know what I'm saying? And it's called preparation, right? And that's preparation. Your preparation. You know what I'm saying? You're preparing yourself a certain way for a specific thing. And it's just like, okay, so now I can prepare myself for this specific thing that I'm trying to do. And it's just in that preparation, you know what I'm saying, that all of these different types of compartmentalized components can have their effect, you know what I'm saying? And it could just be something you can channel through, And I think there's beauty in creating, you know what I'm saying, and just the ideas of creating the, sort of art masterpieces, you know what I'm saying, and the crafts, that you create, and the artwork, and the art that you create. But then I think there's a time where it's just like it's time for that beauty of that artwork to just be presented, and it's just no longer like, in the presenting mode. Like you can no longer hold on to it. You know what I'm saying? No matter how much you love, like just the imaginative part of it. Sometimes, like, you know what I'm saying, you gotta. It's just like, it just comes to a point to where, it's time to the crafting portion of it, or just like, how can I put this, right? It's time to move on, you know what I'm saying? Like, and just create another one, you know what I'm saying? And that's just it. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's time to just, the process of being able to just create another, like, you know what I'm saying? And just push one out and just compartmentalize it, organize it, and place it where it needs to be placed, and utilize it as it's intended to be utilized in the most effective way, in the most effective method or way that you intended to use it. And then just, move on to the next one, you know what I'm saying? And just push that one on, right? Or push through that one, or push to the next one, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, now let's create this other one, you know what I'm saying? That one is serving its purpose. That one is just doing what it's doing. Now let's just move on to the next thing, right? After we done push this one out and it's serving its purpose. And I think that's the hardest, or just like a nudge. And that's just a whole different sort of like shit. That's just a whole different sort of shit. You know what I'm saying? It's just a whole different sort of like thing right there, just to be able to, like, you know what I'm saying? To just kill, or not kill, but yeah, kill, but better, more so, just like being, just be able to just like, I guess, complete push, you know what I'm saying? Complete, and just sort of just like, what's the word I'm looking for? Shit, just be able to like, just compartmentalize, like just compartment it, and just be able to place it, and just be able to, document it, saying this is this, like, you know what I'm saying? That's just a completion. Just to be able to complete it, shit, you know what I'm saying? It's like, and just no more 99%, but, like trying to like 100, like just complete shit, it's just a whole different thing, and I think, with a whole different set of mechanics, and, whole different philosophy, whole different mind frame, whole different everything. Or just, philosophy, but psychology. But anyway, I'm gonna conclude this joint right here. I think I touched on, pretty much all the points I wanted to really touch on in this video. To close out this video, saying like, I think that's just just some of my thoughts. But yeah, peace, love, and yeah, we out this joint. Let's get it.